neighbors. This is Anarchy in the 603, and I'm coming at you with another postcard from your friendly neighborhood anarchist. Nobody's favorite, quality-free content dumped straight from my dome and dispatched directly to you wherever you may be. Today we're in Macau, and I am running some quick errands, and man, I have been trying to get my head around the horror of the last few days. Like out there in the world, like literally the first few hours of the new year, we had one horrific attack, potentially, well, actually a very clearly now deliberate explosion, with a guy trying to send a message, clearly, but any sort of direct message is yet to be revealed. We've had the shooting in Jamaica, Queens. There's been like just madness out there, and folks always seem to act surprised. Like when this stuff happens, I mean, we act surprised, but then at the same time we're jaded, and we know we're jaded. Like, you know, another school shooting happened just a few days ago, but I don't know how much of a ripple it made in the news. Like, people cease to be horrified anymore. And I remember when Columbine happened. Like, I was just out of high school, and it was a shock. Now it's another fucking Wednesday in America, right? But people do tend to act shocked when stuff like this happens, and it should be shocking. It is horrifying, and it should be shocking, but it's loses the shock value the more that it happens. And of course that means that folks need to escalate what, you know, they don't, caveat, obviously they shouldn't be doing it in the first place, but what I'm saying is the people that do this kind of stuff to make a spectacle, to make a point, they've got to always ramp it up, be the next one, like the newest, novel, biggest, whatever. Like, you know, okay, so somebody's already did it this way, and now I need to do it another way to get attention. It's only going to get worse. And again, the thing about folks acting surprised that this shit happens blows my mind, because we as a country have been pushing lone wolf idealism for, God, I don't even know how much time at this point. Like, the idea of individualism, bootstrapping it, you know, like, I alone can fix this kind of fucking mentality. Like, the way that we focus on the one dude, the figurehead, the whatever, of course we're going to get lone wolf ideologies and lone wolf actors. And the way that we as a culture preach violence and hatred and dehumanization. I mean, Malcolm X said it after JFK was shot. He said, you know, quoted, "The chickens have come home to roost." Y'all, the chickens keep coming home to roost. We are a society that looks at, I know, we're society. I know. But we are one. And, you know, people laugh at the eye-rolling joke that was cut out of the Joker film. But the fact is, no. We are one. And we don't act like it. We think about our rights, but we don't think about our responsibilities. We think about the rights of corporations and whatever, but we don't think about the responsibilities to their clients or their customers or their employees. We think about our rights, but we don't think about our responsibilities toward our fellow man, toward our planet, toward our environment, like, lone wolf ideology will only lead to lone wolf actors. When something horrible happens, we don't have support systems to turn to in this country saying, oh, the government should fix it, or the, so-and-so organization will come in and swoop in and help. We don't do that here because in the 1980s, Reagan destroyed all of those social services. Reagan ruined it all, and we have been tearing it down even further ever since, collectively as a government and a society. Because we've been buying into this bullshit for too long. The fact is, we always say, surely someone will do something. Surely someone will fix it. Well, bitch, my name ain't Shirley. And when you say someone will fix it, well, guess what? Someone gets an idea in their mind that they are going to do a one action. And ultimately, what does that one action do? It sends a message. It kills a few people, ends a few innocent lives that were just out there fucking trying to live a life. Wives, mothers, kids, these are people's children. These are people's, I don't care how old you are. You were somebody's baby once. These are people's siblings and cousins and fucking dads and shit. Just out living life, and then you get popped off because some guy wants to make a message. Well, anarchists, we learned a long time ago that propaganda by deed ain't gonna get you shit. Propaganda by deed, it shocks for a minute, and then people move on with their lives. They don't look at it as a symbol or whatever. They don't take it as deep as you intend. All they go is, that motherfucker was fucked up. That shit's fucked up. Look at how much collateral damage there was. What kind of message is what kind of good is going to come? No, they don't fucking listen. Too many things go wrong. Too many innocent people die. The message does not get... You end up dying, usually, trying to send this message. So guess what? The messenger isn't even there to relay the message accurately. So you end up with a bunch of people taking what they will from what they've seen. And in the meantime, how direct was your messaging? How clear was what you did? What were the knock-on effects? No, what happens is more shit gets knocked out onto us. Our freedoms get shackled because now we got to surveil the general public and surveil those leftists and surveil all these people. And y'all didn't accomplish it. Made a news headline. You hurt a lot of people, killed a bunch of people, make a news headline, and nothing fucking changes. Say what you will about leftists and how hard it is for us to get agreed on anything and how we're herding cats and all that shit, but at least we try to fucking govern, I'm an anarchist. I shouldn't even want to vote. But the fact is, I'm stuck in a system where I can't tear down the system overnight. What happens when you blow up a system that's this entrenched? You end up with even more people suffering. I'm here to fucking try to reduce suffering. That's, to me, personally, what my ideals and my vision is about. And right now, what we have is no systems really in place to help alleviate the broad suffering that we are all experiencing under late stage capitalism. And we have a bunch of increasingly desperate lone wolves who don't have the idea or the framework of, hey, let's work together to maybe change something. Let's work together to maybe fix something. You know what I would love to see? A fucking general strike. Honestly, Iceland had a women's strike once. Y'all know about that? They were so sick and tired, the women of Iceland, that they were basically treated and seen and paid and governed as though they were second-class citizens. And they were like, well, I mean, you've been any of you ever been moms before? Or had kids in your life? Or had housemates that ain't do shit? Or they're messy because they're kids or whatever, right? And you say to yourself, you know what? Fuck them. I'm going to stop doing all the shit I do around here to see how well you do. Yeah, well, that's what the women did. They stopped going to work. They stopped taking care of the house. They stopped doing everything. All of it. And now Iceland has some of the most gender equity across the board as any other country, more than any other country in the world. But we in America, sorry, I was raised, I'm born and raised American from the 603, but I was raised outside of the culture. I was raised Filipina, culturally Filipina in America. And I can tell you right now, there is not the national stomach for collective work on a major scale. Like the idea of a general strike, like the amount of hardship that we would have to go through, the amount of organizing that we would have to go through in order to make that happen is like you would have to put supports in place where folks higher up economically would be able to help fund those of us lower down on the pyramid to help us get through a general strike, however long that may take. And I mean, when I say general strike, I don't, again, I can't assume that whoever, whatever one of you of my 32 now, 32 subscribers, hey guys, whichever one random person may even click through to the, 12? I've been talking 12 minutes now, Jesus Christ, no one's going to listen to this that long. But yeah, a general strike is where everybody, not just postal workers, not just the guy at the Starbucks, not just Amazon, but like we all fucking up and walk out. No paying bills, no doing nothing. Everything grinds to a screeching halt. Like the Montgomery bus boycotts, okay? That's a much smaller, that's one city. And there were people organizing ride shares. There were people, making meals for picketers. There were like all these invisible hands, mostly black women, let's be clear on that, behind the scenes doing all this organizing. And that was how they were able to successfully make that happen. But a general strike on a mass scale, the amount of work that would take, I just don't see it. But god damn, I would love it. But again, I'm just rambling here. Anyway, yeah, the whole point is we've been preaching violence for decades as a culture. We've been preaching lone wolf fucking, I alone can fix it, bootstrap, one dude, one pioneer, one solution, one hero crap for equally as long. You cannot act surprised when the chickens come home to roost. Fact is, until we collectively can change our messaging and change our methods, this individualism is just going to be the death of us as a country. It's going to be the death of us as a people, and it won't be a sudden one. it's going to be a longer, slow ass decay while half the country is in denial and the other half of the country is feeling powerless. And it fucking sucks. Anyway, I'm just rambling, and nobody gonna listen to this for 15 whole ass minutes, but whatevs. I'm gonna put it out there anyway, and hopefully y'all stick around for another postcard later on. Have a beautiful day. Stay safe out there, guys, and I'll be coming back at you soon.